Get nasty on a Thursday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter, the despicable Kerry Davis, wearing the Dodger blue glasses now.
You feel good, man?
Otherwise reserved for the Blues.
Well,
whenever we talk about the Blues.
Well, they're playing tonight, but, this is for the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah,
Dodger
go
blue.
ahead.
Yeah, man, that was a hell of a game. Down 5 runs. How do you expect to get back in that game? You expect, some of the great plays from some of the great players that the Dodgers have. But no, the Yankees allowed them back in. And when you have a great team, you don't allow a great team back into the game, Anthony. Because great teams find a way to close the door. And that is what Walker Buehler did. Strike them out, sit them down, let's go home, let's celebrate. That was a beautiful game, man. That was an awesome game watching those Dodgers play. I'm feeling kind of blue here in a good way. Dodger blue, that is, Anthony. Jamie, yeah. Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
Dodgers, man.
How could you? How could you?
5 games, generally it's called a gentleman's sweep because essentially that's what it was. You give them 1 game, make them feel good. Gentleman's sweep. Dodgers were fantastic, man.
What is going on here?
He's a Dodger fan now.
Yeah, like winners. If Anthony can root for the Kansas City Chiefs, I can damn sure root for the Los Angeles Dodgers, can I not?
At least they're in the same damn state.
Thank you.
Well, so, I lived in L.A. before.
Huh? Kerry was an actor.
I lived there. I was rooting for the Dodgers. What do you think? Huh? Go Dodgers.
All right, congratulations to those Arizona Diamondback LA Dodgers on their come-from-behind victory last night over a Yankees team that decided that fundamental baseball doesn't need to happen.
Defense was optional.
Defense was totally optional in that 5th inning. So the Yankees build a 5-0 lead, only to give it all back.
Aaron Judge found his home run swing. Unfortunately, he lost his defense.
Seriously. Drops the ball in center field. Anthony Volpe, shortstop, mishandles a play to short. That was going to be tough. He was going to have to set his feet and then throw the ball to Jazz Chisholm's left. Instead, he kind of, one-hopped it. That winds up being a miscue. And then perhaps the most egregious move of the night was Garrett Cole channeling the 2006 Detroit Tigers and deciding that covering first base is optional in the World Series. After he had struck out the previous 2 batters, one of which was Shohei Ohtani. So he was going to get out of that inning, wasn't going to be a problem. Yankees would have wiped the brow and said, dodged a bullet there. Instead, he doesn't cover first. Anthony Rizzo looks up and Garrett Cole's not there. He's also not even trying to hustle to the bag. And the Dodgers wind up tying the game. Eventually take a 7-6 lead, and that's the final. I've never seen a World Series team, a World Series winning team, play shoddy defense at this time of year. It has not happened.
It was bad. One mistake is bad, right? We often talk about Bill Buckner and the ball going through. Oh, it's terrible. The Yankees had 3 plays in that inning. Now, the Volpe play, like you said, that is a tough throw, but you shouldn't one-hop it. The error by Aaron Judge was egregious. That started it off. And Garrett Cole finished it off by not covering first base. He's pointing at Rizzo like, yeah, go. And Rizzo's like, no, where are you, sir?
Bust your ass.
What are you doing? That was some of the worst defense I have ever seen in a single inning in a game or a moment that mattered that much. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just lack of focus, not dialed in, not doing your job correctly, just not knowing, maybe the moment being too much, but it was bad. And if you are going to let a team as good as the Dodgers not even have to earn their way back into the game, you deserve to lose. You don't deserve to win that game. You don't deserve to win it. There is nothing about that showed that they deserve that. You're up 5 runs, and you give back those 5 runs simply on errors. Those were 5 unearned runs. I would be livid. If I'm Garrett Cole, I'm livid. But then I can't be that mad because I also am a part of it.
Right.
You're mad at Aaron. You're mad at Volpe, and oh, damn it, I'm mad at myself too. Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. Like, that was bad, man. It was bad. So, yeah, that's they have no one to blame but themselves for that game.
No. They also weren't good. They weren't the better team. The Dodgers were clearly the better team. The better team won. I thought the pitching would eventually sink the Dodgers. Didn't happen. I was wrong. I was completely wrong. I said at the start of the postseason, the Dodgers pitching wasn't strong enough.
Well, Jack Flaherty had a good outing last night.
He tried.
Boy, as soon as teams got a second read on him, that's it. Padres did it. Yankees did it. But I was wrong. I was wrong about the Dodgers pitching being their downfall. Instead, they had the better pitching throughout this series, certainly the better bullpen work, and they wound up winning it. So congratulations to the Dodgers. I mean, if you're Major League Baseball, you kind of got what you deserve, though. You don't have a salary ceiling. You don't have a salary floor. You got a luxury tax and no floor. You're allowed to do what the Dodgers have done, which is stockpile an all-star team. They'll probably get Juan Soto. This was supposed to be a drama-filled series. It was not. So you deserve to have this puppy end in 5. Should have been done in 4, really, with the way the Dodgers were stacked. And if this is how it's going to be in Major League Baseball, then welcome back to the version of when the Yankees bought everybody and they were the team to beat every year. The Dodgers are now what the Yankees used to be. That's it. This is your game. Baseball.
I enjoyed it. I don't care how much people are getting paid. I don't care how much. I hope the Dodgers go out and sign Juan Soto as well and make everybody else mad.
He's available.
Yeah, sign him.
All 30 teams.
That means your St. Louis Cardinals are on the list as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no, they're not.
Yeah, they are. He said it last night. He said, I'm listening to all 30 teams.
Yeah, he winked.
Which means he wants to be here. And we all know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be here. No.
I don't think so.
I hope they do sign him. I thought it was fantastic. We talked so much about, you talked about the Dodgers pitching and how it was always hurt. But then you and I, the thing that you always bring up is high ceiling guys. And
Yep.
Walker Buehler is one of those high ceiling guys that we often talk about. He's dealt with a lot of injuries, but the fact that you can go in that moment after starting a game a couple of nights before and go in there, he was pitching his butt off.
Yep.
Like that, he was upper 90s, 96, 98, and then dropping it off at 78. Like the difference, the disparity between those two pitches and how it's going to keep a batter, uncomfortable in the box. He did a fantastic job. And that's the moments you live for. I love what Dave Roberts did. He went out there, talked to the pitcher. Are you good? Yeah, I want him. Cool. Go get him. Trusting your players. We talked about that the manager would be probably one of the most important things in this series as well. Dave Roberts, having experience, done it. And knowing, okay, know where I want to make here. These adjustments, no, yep, okay, let's do this. And I thought he did a fantastic job. And, the Yankees defense let him down in Game 5, but the Dodgers were the better team.
They were, start to finish. Yeah, it's interesting when you look at Walker Buehler. He had struggled for a while, but he was shaking off the rust coming off the injury. That's really what it amounts to. He was going 3, then 4, then 5-ish innings. He was getting beat up, but he got progressively better. And his improvement, or his shaking off the rust, the timing of it all matched up perfectly with the Dodgers needing him in that spot in the biggest moment, and he delivered. So congratulations to the Dodgers. Now you can go get Juan Soto and probably win next year's World Series team.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter at all.
Yeah.
Man, I
I'm going to be at the Cardinals game. I'm going to be at a Dodgers game where the Cardinals are playing in L.A. I'm going to have to make a choice.
You wear the blue
I might wear the blue glasses, Jamie. You're right.
Jeez.
Yep. I like winners.
What is going on right now?
I like winners.
What is going on?
The Cardinals they're taking some time to correct some things.
Carey threw some shade at me with the whole Chiefs thing. I declared that I was a Chiefs fan for 2 weeks. The lead up to the Super Bowl week, and the game.
Mm-hmm.
And when we came on air the next day, I declared, hey, thanks for having me on your bandwagon, Kansas City Chiefs Nation. You didn't want me there, but I appreciate you allowing me to kind of tag along for the ride. I bid you farewell and thank you. I let go. But you're rocking the Dodgers glasses, talking about going to L.A. and rooting on the Dodgers against the Cardinals next year.
I might. It's
gross.
It is.
It's just
I've been a Cardinal fan
gross.
my entire life. And these last couple of years have, not been great. It's been uncomfortable. Whew, but watching those Dodgers play baseball, baby, how can you not? That is the excitement that puts butts in seats, Anthony. I'm just saying, man.
Carey.
Yeah.
Just wait for the All-Star game in July.
What about it? That's
when you can watch your All-Star team. That doesn't mean you don't have to root for the Dodgers.
No. I'm telling you, I'm on the fence here. I haven't made a decision just yet, but after last night, man, I don't know how you can not like that. Jamie, you understand? Yeah, you know. Multi-purpose glasses, blues and Dodger blues.
Anthony's thrilled.
He's upset. Well, he's upset because he wanted the Yankees to win. Even though he said that the Dodgers were going to win, and which is so confusing. I don't know.
Yeah, you called it, Anthony.
Yeah,
I did. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I did. I said 0.0 chance the Yankees win last night, and
right.
turned out I was right. I shared this, Jamie, I shared this with Marsh and Carey. When the Yankees went up 5-0, my dad texted me. He goes, "Thank you, Anthony." Sorry, Dad.
I love it.
I only did so much. Apparently, you got to cover first base if you want to win a World Series.
Catch a fly ball.
Or at least force a Game 6. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers on the Blues lineup line changes for tonight when they take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Man, there's a lot of line changes. That's next on 101 ESPN.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference is, they have everything from tequila cocktails. They have an extensive bourbon collection, top shelf spirits, and cocktails served over ice spheres. Local craft beers are available, and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu that, quite honestly, is second to none. And of course, don't forget about the 29-degree man-sized drafts. And why wait for the weekend? You don't have to. Don't want to go there now. They're serving scratch food and pouring quality cocktails every day after dark. Come by the Lodge. Experience the best late night in the league. And tonight, for example, the Blues will be on the TVs in the bar area. They've got an incredible menu. The staff is friendly. They like to help out with the suggestions on the menu or maybe a certain cocktail that they have. And they're going to make sure that you have a great time while you're over there at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Blues are in Philadelphia tonight to take on the Flyers. 6 o'clock puck drop, 5 o'clock pregame right here on 101 ESPN. And Drew Bannister decided to make a bunch of line changes. So let me read off the lines for morning skate from today. This is from Matthew DeFranks, who covers the Blues for STLtoday.com. Texier, Buchnevich, Neighbors, Saad, Holloway, Kyrou, Shen, Foxa, Bolduc, Toropchenko, Sundqvist, Walker. The defensive pairings: Suter, Parayko, Broberg, Falk, Perunovic, Kessel, Joseph being the odd man out, and then Binnington will be the starter. Our guy Jeremy Rutherford noted that Neighbors and Kyrou are switching. Holloway is covering the second line, as I mentioned. Shen to the left wing on the third line. Fox is centering the third. Sundqvist centering the fourth. And he also had this quote from Drew Bannister, quote, "We have to make a change. We felt like we had to move some players around, get a reaction from our players. We can't go back with the same old." So that was a thought process. We moved some guys around, got some workers and some shooters on the lines. Guys, I like that Drew Bannister's making changes. You got smoked in your last game by Ottawa. You didn't play well against Montreal either. We feel even though it was only 3 games away, it feels like that win over Toronto was like a month ago. So I like that Bannister's making changes. But Jamie, obviously, you've got the hockey eye for this. What do you think about those changes?
Oh,
he's muted.
Are you muted, Jamie?
You're muted.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're
there
back.
you go.
All right. So, look, after the loss in Ottawa, there's certainly some changes that you'd like to make to your lineup, because that lineup that you had that night just didn't click. Do I think it was the line combinations per se? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But you make some changes, and now you're hoping that you get some results. And I think the biggest thing to pull from this was he wanted a reaction. Wanted to disrupt it a little bit for the players, let them know that, you know, the way the game went the other night was not acceptable. Now, do you do this every time you lose? No, you can't do that. You can't. It's because that it looks like panic mode as far as changing the lines too much every time there's a bad game or a loss. But I still think Drew Bannister's looking to find certain line combinations. You know, and when you look at the lineup, we started the season off where Brandon Saad was not on the first road trip due to the birth of his third child. So you didn't have continuity on that trip. You come back, Brandon Saad's added to the lineup. Then you've got Walker that comes out of the lineup. You've kind of had this, not revolving door, but a lot of different line combinations. So I still think the Blues are looking for the best possible line combinations. And it's really tough right now when you have injuries to Robert Thomas. You have an injury to Kasperi Kapanen, who's out with an upper body injury. And, you know, Drew Bannister today said that, you know, even though they lost the other night, he thought that
No, Jamie, you cut out again, bud.
Okay, I'm back.
So you were saying Drew Bannister noted, and then you got cut out.
Yeah, Drew Bannister noted that the Bolduc, Holloway, Kapanen line was playing pretty well. He liked their speed. He liked their aggressiveness. But Kapanen out with the upper body injury, that means you have to make a change. And so he did so. And you bring Nathan Walker back in. He's very familiar with playing with Oskar Sundqvist and Toropchenko. So there's a lot of, you know, consistency there. You know what you're going to get. And then Perunovic slots back into the game. Do I think P.O. Joseph had a bad game against Ottawa? Not necessarily. I think the team had a bad game, but he ended up being -4 on the night. So, you know, sometimes you're the victim of the circumstances. And so I think he's out for that reason. Look, just trying to spark the team here a little bit. And if changing the lines does that, then great.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. You got to do something here. You can't like what you see. You know you got injuries, but you also can't play the injury card. You've got to do something. So I appreciate that Drew Bannister isn't just sitting there saying, "Well, you know what? Yeah, we just got to try to find some consistency right now." No, try to get a reaction out of these guys. So I have no idea if the line changes will make a difference. I have no idea whether or not he'll find any sort of spark here, but simply changing things up is good. It's almost like, Carey, where, you know, you've got a quarterback change. Mm-hmm. The locker room might perk up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, that's a pretty big move.
Yeah.
But you know, a new boss comes in or a new employee comes in from another company, and they're, they almost view him as like, yeah, we're gonna shake. Like everybody all of a sudden walk around the hallways, kind of on their toes a little bit more, which is not a bad thing.
Well, I guess my question would be: Is it that? Does it matter that much? I know the lines they shift them throughout the entire game. It's more about the time on ice. Like, how much time are you actually getting on ice, and which players do they trust the most to be out there in those critical moments? Is that what they're looking for, trying to figure out who they trust the most and which people they can have on the ice in those critical times?
Yeah, I don't know if it's that right now. I understand what you're saying, and I think that what you're saying would pertain more if the lines have been consistent for like the last 10, 12 games, because then you're seeing, okay, this line we can trust, this line we can't. This is just mixing it up. I think that Holloway has thrown an interesting look into this lineup, because when he was traded for, he's going to play wing. He's drafted as center, he's going to play wing. Well, he's played really good at the center ice position, and he has a tremendous amount of speed. He's scoring goals. He's creating out there. He's finishing his hits. So he was elevated to second line center. Braden Shen, now he's playing left wing with Foxa and Bolduc. So there are some substantial changes that could make some difference here, and I'm here for it. Like Anthony said, you can't just let it go. You can't just be like, okay, status quo here because, we're fine. Just a bad night. Well, yeah, it was a bad night, but at the same time, take advantage of that bad night to try and mix up your lineups and see if you can find something that's going to work for you on a more consistent basis.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad night where you say, you know what, that was just throw out the tape. We're going to be good. We know how we play. So scrub that from the memory, but we're good. That was not one of those nights. That was a night of like, oh, bleep, we're in bigger trouble here right now without Thomas and without some of these other guys. We've got to make some changes to tip the scales back in our favor. And Philadelphia is a good team to do it against, too. This is a nice little measuring stick based on where the Blues are, because the Flyers haven't played well. They're 3-6. There's 3-6-1. They're 1-3 at home. They are coming off a 2-0 victory over the Bruins in Boston, but before that, they had lost 7 of their previous 8, including a 6-game losing streak. So this is not a very good Flyers team. You make these changes, you implement them. Maybe you get a little confidence, you get a dub, and then you can come back home following an uneven, Kerry, an uneven road
That's
trip.
a great word. I was going to say, if you're a player, you definitely want to throw out the tape. I do not want to sit there and watch that film. Jamie, you've been there. Like, I can tell you what I don't want to do is watch that damn film tomorrow. No. You are praying that the coaches are on the same wavelength. You know what? Bad game, fellas, we're going to throw it out. Now, if they come in, we got some watching to do. You're like, we're going to be here all day. We might be here for 4 hours watching film because it's that bad.
Yeah.
So it's one or the other. And as a player, you don't want to have to watch it. But as coaches, you do have to go over some of those things to correct it. And the one thing you never want to have to correct as a coach is effort, energy. I can correct you not being in the right place or you making the wrong play or making a poor decision. Here's how we fix that. But I can't correct you not giving great effort or trying hard, because that's inside of you. I can't do anything about that.
Yep.
That's either you're going to do it or you're not. And I'm interested to see what tonight looks like. If they go out early and are on the offensive, attacking Philadelphia and not allowing themselves to be, on the defensive, getting attacked, getting punched first and not punching back.
Mm-hmm. Got a text
one thing I think.
Go ahead, Jamie.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Marshy.
I was going to read a text from the Air Comfort Service text line. The 618 says, it feels like the Blues took a page out of the Cardinals playbook, and you never know who's playing where, when, and how. How well did that serve the Cardinals? Do you think that's the same thing?
I don't.
No, this is different. If you were taking Braden Shen and playing him defense, then I'd be like, okay, that's the Cardinals right there. Like, no, I don't. It's not apples to apples for me. And what I was going to say right before that is I think it's to be noted here that, lots of meetings on the ice at practice and pregame skate, like lots of one-on-one talks between coaches and players talking to each other. You can tell that this team expects better results. You can tell that this team expects to be a playoff team. like the vibe has changed. Whereas last year it might have been like, oh, well, yeah, it's not a great game. We'll see what we can do in Philly. Now it's like, no, not acceptable. Talking to guys, figuring things out. Like they absolutely want that kind of a game to not happen again. And yeah, the Flyers are a good team to bounce back against, but you better be ready to play hard because John Tortorella has always got that Flyers team playing hard. And if you don't match that intensity, then you find yourself maybe leaving this road trip really disappointed because you somehow lost a squeaker to a bad team.
Right.
And you can't allow that to happen. And I think that's what the coaching staff's making sure that not only are guys like fixing the problem, but that they're ready to go and ready to compete.
That's Jamie Rivers, Kerry Davis, Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Hey, just a programming note. One, we're off at 5 today because of the Blues. The Blues Flyers pregame right here on the Blues Radio Network is on at 5 o'clock. And we also have an early edition of the Gauntlet. So we have a returning Gauntlet contender. He's coming on at 3 instead of 4. He couldn't come on at 4. We had a shortened show, so we made some arrangements. So the Gauntlet's on at 3 today, just to give you a heads up. All right. Since Jamie's with us, we do got to get into our NFL Week 9 Pick'em Challenge picks. And we're going to get into the Cardinals here at the top of the hour. So if you've been talking about some Cardinals and wondering when we're going to talk about that, we will be getting into the Cardinals, not at 3 o'clock, but at 3:15. Cardinals made some moves, so we'll dive into that. But next, NFL Pick'em Challenge selections, including a tough one tonight. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet, they have tons of inventory coming in right now of brand new and pre-owned vehicles. Things are lining up great here for holiday season, which is right around the corner. And the Londoff family, they've been in business for over 80 years, and they've been providing the best pricing and award-winning service to the entire St. Louis area. And Johnny talks about it all the time, that buying a vehicle is more than just a price tag. Johnny Londoff wants the purchase of your vehicle at Londoff Chevrolet to be special, to be stress-free, to be fun, so that you tell your family and you tell your friends about everything, and then you keep going back to Londoff Chevrolet. Londoff Chevrolet has 2 locations now. So if the Florissant, Missouri location wasn't convenient to you because you live more westbound, don't worry about it. They get the Londoff Autoplex now located right there in St. Peter's, right off of Highway 70, and they've got great deals going on. And don't forget that nobody's going to give you more cash for your trade-in. That's not trade assistance or value-added pricing. It's more cash for your vehicle, period. And that's even if you don't purchase from Londoff Chevrolet. So please, again, check out both locations. They've got tremendous inventory and just an amazing staff of people over there. But if not, you can check them out online. Visit them at londoff.com or LondoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Yankees with an epic collapse in the fifth inning of last night's World Series game, Game 5. It led to the Dodgers winning the World Series. Final score 7-6. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. If you missed that conversation or if you missed any conversation from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. You'll find all of our full shows and interviews there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Blues will take on the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. Pregame starts at 5 o'clock. Puck drop is at 6. And we'll talk with Chris Kerber at 4:30 to get his thoughts on tonight's matchup in Philly. We have our Week 9 NFL Pick'em Challenge coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Get ready to pick 'em. It's the Fastlane Football Pick'em Challenge on 101 ESPN.
Refreshed by Bud Light.
Well, you sure know how to pick 'em.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Time for the NFL Week 9 Pick'em Challenge picks, refreshed by Bud Light. We're coming off our first loss to the Rizzuto show.
Yeah.
Carey's coming off a two-shot performance.
Still debatable. Still questionable.
How'd that go?
It was
How'd
bad.
that go, Kerry?
It was bad. Not a fan.
No, where'd you get it, Kerry?
Nah, right cheek, left cheek.
Oh, at least they separated it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right
Yeah.
side,
Yeah.
left side.
Yeah.
Strong side.
Strong side, left side, strong side.
Yeah.
All right, boys, let's rebound. All right? And let's have, in a great week, Kylie get shot this week. All right?
That'd be fantastic.
Because he's the only one that has it.
He is the only one.
Carey, you're at 2. Mm-hmm. Jamie, you're at 2.
Yep.
Marsh, you're at 3.
Yes.
And I am at 1.
Yeah.
So Brandon Kylie needs to join the party. I think it's only... I think it's only fair that Brandon Kylie gets punished on Tuesday.
That's called being a teammate.
I mean,
Exactly. All right, boys. Tonight, you look at things, you're like, oh, it's the Texans and the Jets. Home teams, short week, have fared pretty well. The Texans are also dealing with another injury, that being Stephon Diggs. So now you have Nico Collins out and Stephon Diggs out, and C.J. Stroud hasn't had a great sophomore year. Jets are also a small favorite,
which is
they're also the Jets.
So weird. 2-6.
Carey, where are you leaning?
I'm leaning with the Texans. Joe Mixon hurt?
No.
He healthy?
Yes, he is.
I'm going with him. C.J. Stroud okay?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going with them. Aaron Rodgers playing?
Yes.
I'm going with the Texans.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. What are we talking about?
What are we doing here?
Jamie, do you feel the same way?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That Jets team is an absolute disaster over there. So no chance. I know there's some injuries for the Texans, but they're sitting there at 6-2. I mean, I still don't know how the spread has the Jets as the favorite when you have a team that's 6-2. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Whatever. It's crazy.
Marsh?
Don't hate me.
Oh, my.
Going JETS, yes.
I certainly am tonight.
Okay.
The line,
I don't think it's crazy.
The line is giving me like just weird vibes.
Don't trust the line, Marshy.
Well, usually they're right. There's a reason why they are experts, and everyone's probably thinking, "Oh man,
The money is probably
going with the Houston Texans. This is a layup," and it's usually not. It's usually not.
Yeah.
They like to take your money.
So MD 2020 in the Snake Pit says feels like a trap game. I viewed it the same way you did, Marsh, where I looked at it, I'm like, man, this doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, go the other way. And then I'm like, I'm not going with the Jets. Like, I just ultimately, I came to the conclusion, similar to Jamie and Carey, that I'm not going to back the Jets. This is a team that wants to give up. It's been on the brink of giving up. It's a perfect time to disappoint the home crowd again and just flat out be gangrene.
Can I say down even better?
Can I say something though? I think and I'm sure they'll probably be like, well, they were talking about this, and they looked at our picks, and they're trying to match it up. Last week, they went with the quote-unquote underdog, right, which was the Rams, because out of some desperation, they need to win. Yeah. I think tonight they all go with the Jets because they think that we'll just go with the Houston Texans. So I'm looking at it from that perspective, where if we want to match them, that could be the move.
Well, hey, listen.
Unless we just want to do our own thing, which is totally fine because we're up by 8, right? Or 7.
Here would be my recommendation, man. We have gotten through 7 weeks with dubs. We lost one time, which was week 8. We're 7-1 on the year. Let's just do our thing.
That's playing the game the right way.
They're now facing us and the clock.
Yeah.
Right?
They're chasing.
So let's just do our thing.
That's fine.
So if you like the Jets tonight because it feels a little fishy, okay, that's fine.
It does feel a little fishy.
That's
so
fine.
I'll roll with the Jets tonight.
We don't need to strategize. Let them strategize.
It's a must-win for the Jets.
That's why they're going to lose.
And if they lose, you know what? Then we get to make fun of Aaron Rodgers even more, and I'm fine with that.
It's kind of a win-win.
It is a win-win.
All right. This is another tough slate. I don't know if it was last week that felt rough or the week prior, but there are some coin flip games this week. I'll get to the better matchups. Lions and Packers. I think we all taking the Lions here, right? All say aye.
Aye.
It's interesting, though. The line hasn't moved, and Jordan Love... There's some uncertainty around Jordan Love. Even if he does play, I still like the Lions in this matchup. I think they're clearly the team to beat in the NFC. Defensively, I think Green Bay does what it can, but I think this Lions team's an absolute wagon right now. They had a couple of hiccups. Earlier in the year,
You're not welcome
Jamie.
back yet, but that's better.
No. I respect
He's trying, Jamie.
Not good enough to be the number 1 team in the NFL for Anthony.
Stack up.
Jamie, I respect it. I'm just saying the Lions are the best team in the NFC. So I got Motown City.
I got Detroit as well. And Jordan Love he came out of the game last week, was limping around, he just looked uncomfortable. We know he had a knee injury earlier this year. So I was not I'm surprised that the line is this close, and especially if Jordan Love is not playing. I think the Detroit Lions beat the hell out of the Packers this weekend. I don't think it'll be close.
Yeah, that's correct. That is the right answer, Kerry.
Thanks.
I got the Lions as well.
He knows. He's the football guy.
Another close matchup, at least from a point spread standpoint, is the NFC West game between the Rams and the Seahawks. The Rams are a slight favorite on the road. With the way that they looked last week against Minnesota, the fact that they got Cooper Kupp back and they got Puka Nacua back and Matthew Stafford played as well as he did last week, I don't necessarily trust the Rams' defense. But, man, with Kyren Williams, Stafford, the 2 receivers back, they're firing. They can fire on all cylinders. I like the Rams to beat the Seahawks.
I got the Rams winning that as well. I didn't like what I saw from Seattle last week. I don't know what to expect from them week to week. And I saw the Rams play really well with their guys healthy. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp had 17 targets between the two of them. Like, they were throwing them the ball. Kyren Williams has been outstanding running the football and in the pass game. Offensively, I like what they're doing. And I think defensively, they're starting to grow. They're a little bit younger. I told you last week, I like Jared Verse, the defensive end that they got over there with the Rams. I think that they are the better team, and I think they're going to win in Seattle this weekend.
Jamie?
I got the Seahawks, boys.
Do you?
I do. I know the Rams had a good game. Seahawks did not have a good game. I see a bounce back and the games in Seattle, which traditionally it's hard to play in Seattle when you're the visiting team. So I went with Seattle.
I have the Rams. I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams went on a run here and ended up winning that NFC West. Like, that division, I think, is up for grabs right now, especially 100%. With the 49ers and the way that, even the 49ers are looking a lot better, too. And, I don't know what CMC's timeline is. He just dressed up as the Tin Man the other day for Halloween.
That's clever.
Yeah, so I think the Rams are in a good spot right now, regardless of their record, and I think they come out with a victory this week.
Where are you guys on the Bears and Cardinals?
I have no clue.
That one's in Arizona.
Let me see.
And the Bears are coming off easily the worst loss.
I took Arizona.
I took Arizona as well. Yeah. They are the division leading team right now. Yeah. The Cardinals are, which is, I don't know how that is even possible. But the Bears' loss last week was a terrible loss. You don't lose that game in that manner. I'm still waiting to see Caleb Williams kind of turn the corner and be the elite rookie quarterback that we have expectations of him to be. But Arizona at home, I got to take Arizona.
Same with you, Jamie.
Yeah, I reluctantly picked Arizona because, not a big fan of that team or their quarterback. But, I think they've got it.
Marsh?
So I went with the Bears. I think they can bounce back, but the more I think about it, I might change my pick to the Cardinals. The Bears, all of their wins have come at Well, they've come at home. They're 4-0 at home, and they are not good on the road. And this is a road game for the Bears. And having the loss that you did last week, I think could ultimately make a team crumble. Just like the Yankees, I thought the game 1 loss against the Dodgers really set them up for failure that entire series. Now, did they have time to come back in said series? Yeah, they did, but I thought all the momentum that they had was out the window, and I feel like that could be the same thing with the Bears. So I actually might flip my pick and go with the Cardinals on this one.
I have the Bears right now. I think this is kind of a galvanizing moment for the Bears. They go one of two ways. They either come together after that loss last week, or this season falls apart and they wind up sinking to the bottom of the NFC North. I really like their defense. I mean, their defense played well last week. You had one knucklehead that got himself completely out of position and wound up costing you the game. Otherwise, the defense was excellent against Jaden Daniels and that Washington offense that had been rolling for a while. So I'm going to take the Bears. This is one of those picks where I'm like, I knew it. Why did I trust them? But I'm going to take the Bears as of right now. By the way, DLW1904 says, in the snake pit, did you guys ask Ryder about these?
Yeah, I'm going to go check with him in a minute. Make sure I'm good.
Inside joke being that Moon is accusing us of using Ryder to pick all of our picks.
Oh, yeah.
The 618 texted in saying, hopefully Mike Ryder makes better picks this week.
Right. Yeah. Just
Last time we let Ryder pick.
asinine.
We lost.
All the way across. Jamie's got the keys to victory tonight. And, how many?
71.
71 keys to victory tonight for the Blues over the Flyers.
Properly.
And we'll also play our goal game, which there was somebody on Instagram that reached out to me and said, hey, why don't you guys call it Light the Lamp? So I don't know how you guys feel about that. We can try it. We could say, hey, coming up next, we'll play Light the Lamp. Kind of rolls off the tongue.
I like it.
Yeah. So
Jamie, hockey term.
Jamie, what do you
like
think?
it.
There you go.
And that was Doug, by the way. Doug,
It's
shout
no
out to
tickle the
Doug.
twine time, but I think we'll let it slide.
Yeah, Doug said, Light the Lamp. That's the name of the segment. All right, it's time to light the lamp. You're welcome. Love the show. Thanks, Doug. All right, that's next on 101 ESPN.
Have kids under 25? We can save you money at carltoninsurance.net.
If you love sports betting, then you will absolutely love Circa Sports Illinois, the app. If you've ever been to Las Vegas, you can go check out the casino, Circa. It's right there in beautiful old Las Vegas, right off of Fremont Street. My buddy, Derek Stevens, that was his vision. He had a vision of creating an incredible casino with the world's largest sports book. Well, he did that. Now he's bringing that right into the palm of your hand with the app, Circa Sports Illinois. It's got a real old school Vegas feel to it. It's got great money lines. It's got great prop bets. The odds are fantastic. There's no betting limit, so that's a lot of fun as well. And let's just be honest here. You want sports betting to be exactly the way it should be, and that's why Circa Sports Illinois, the app, is fantastic. If we're looking to place a bet tonight, I, of course, am sticking in the NHL. I like the Blues. The Blues are an underdog, plus 132 here in Philly. I think the Blues get it done tonight. I also think the Oilers get it done against the Predators. The Oilers underdog at plus 115. I like both of those plays over there at Circus Sports Illinois on the app. So please don't miss out on the action. Download Bet Like a Pro with your Circus Sports Illinois app today and join in on the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Kerry Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh. And it's time for Jamie's. What'd you say, 57?
No, 71.
71. 71 Keys victory tonight as the Blues take on the Flyers. Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah, guys, I talking to the coaching staff down here today, and they said if we could please limit the keys to the game because the players do listen, and they feel like it's an over.
Okay.
It's overwhelming.
It's a little overwhelming. All right. Yeah. I can see that.
We don't want to overwhelm them.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said pick the most important ones and focus in on that.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is we're going to have a good first period. Let's try that. It didn't go well last game. Drew Bannister this morning literally said, we're focusing on having a good first 5 minutes. That's great. I'd like a good first period overall. Leave the first period tied or better, and you're in good shape. Second one, limit the turnovers. We saw what happened there in Ottawa when you're turning the puck over, it starts going back the other way, and it ended up in the net the other night quite a few times. So let's change that. So limit the turnovers. And then you definitely need more pucks and bodies to the net. You need more chaos. This Flyers team has not done a great job defending. Their goaltending has not been very good. Make sure you test them early, often. Make it miserable for them in that blue paint. Let's have a little physicality. You know, you're playing against a Philadelphia team that you know is going to come out. Their coach is going to have them going. You're going to have to match the intensity. I'd like to initiate the physicality. Get in on there, the forecheck. You know, rattle a couple of defensemen up against the boards and see if you can't set the tone by playing the game that way. I'd like to see more direct hockey. I feel like in the last couple of games, it's gotten a lot of east-west, you know, curling up at the blue line, you know, backhand passes, sauce passes, drop passes. Direct hockey. Make it north-south hockey. Simplify your game. I think you'll see the results if you do so. And the last one for me, out-compete your opponent. The other night, there were a number of times where there were puck battles, whether it's a skating race, you know, whether it's being heavy on your stick, whether it's a body that you have to go through, where the Blues didn't do it. They just didn't do it. And I'd like to see them tonight out-compete the Philadelphia Flyers.
Who's going to set the tone?
Yeah.
Okay, wow, yeah, that was. I didn't see that coming at all.
Somebody's got to set the tone.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. You said it well. Hey, boys, let's light the lamp.
And a couple of guys can really shoot the puck.
Shoot! I must confess you scored first.
Well, who was the first person?
Breakaway! Shoots! Score! We got hockey to learn.
All right, Marsh, you were the only one to net yourself a goal the other night. That's because Dylan Holloway scored for you. So what's the latest standings?
So I got 3. Jamie's got 2. And I believe you guys are still searching for that first goal.
Yeah, it's been a little tough these days.
It's all right. We're still in the infancy of the season.
Yeah, it's actually not okay.
You'll be fine.
And I want Carey and I to score tonight.
That'd be great.
On the ice.
That'd be great.
I'd like it both ways. Be fine.
Yeah, all right, fair.
Rooting for you guys.
Thank you.
Tonight, I'm looking at the signs. Tommy Edman scored the game-winning run last night in the World Series.
Playing tonight?
He's not playing tonight, but he is number 25. So give me number 25 for the Blues, Jordan Kyrou.
See what you did there.
Okay. Jamie.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the well here. My guy, Jake from State Farm, neighbors.
Okay.
All right. Give me Justin Falk.
Yeah, Carey, no falking around. I like it.
Whatsoever.
Give me Braden Shen to score a goal. Braden Shen. All right. That'll do it for us here. Well, not us. Jamie. That'll do it for Jamie.
I did the best I could, okay?
You did great,
You
man.
got us off in 5. Thank you.
Yeah, you did great. Well
appreciate
done.
that.
Jamie, enjoy Philadelphia, and we will see you tomorrow.
Back in the studio tomorrow, boys. Yeah.
Jamie will be back in the studio tomorrow after getting in about 2 a.m. So,
yeah, then an hour drive from the airport. It's going to be fantastic.
Nah,
It'll
you'll
be
be
awesome.
good. Yeah, you'll be fresh. Yeah. Yep. All right, buddy. See ya.
You got it, boys. Have a good one.
It's Jamie Rivers here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. We've got an early edition of the Gauntlet next in the Fast Lane.
If you're looking to accessorize your vehicle, please go to see my friends over at Pure Performance. They are your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. They've got a great selection of so many different accessories, whether it's leveling kits, whether it's lift kits, whether it's running boards or anything, oversized tires, rims. You can take any vehicle you want and turn it into an off-road vehicle instantly by heading over to Pure Performance. Performance. They also have a 25,000 square foot facility that houses the largest showroom in the area. Let me tell you something. It's awesome. It's like a toy store for adult people that want to modify their vehicles. It's fantastic. It's so many great things available over there. And it's easy to get there, too. Just go to their showroom, which is located right off of Highway 70 in St. Peters. And when you get there, please ask for Shelby or Caleb. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in. They're going to ask you, what kind of vehicle you have, what you're looking to accomplish, and then they're going to point you in the right direction. And if you have a certain budget, they're going to keep you within that budget, and you're going to be surprised at what you get for your amount of money. They absolutely do a fantastic job over there at Pure Performance. So if you can't get there, though, in person, check out their website. Everything is on there. It's awesome as well. And that's at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
3:03, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. No, it's not 4 o'clock. Like I said, it's 3 o'clock, and we got a special edition of the Gauntlet. It's a little earlier today because our guy Tanner, we had to move some things around for him. But Tanner, after beating Marsh yesterday in the opening round of the Gauntlet, he's back for round 2. What's up, Tanner?
Yeah.
Good man. So you've got 2 choices here. You've got either Carey or me today. Who would you like to take on?
I'll go Carey.
Carey Davis.
All right. Good luck, Tanner.
Here, CD. All right. So, Tanner, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin the wheel.
You know, Mark.
So you're still hoping for hockey? That's what you said yesterday.
Yep.
Okay. So I know Tanner wants hockey. He got baseball yesterday. Marsh's face looked a little...
Oh, we got random today, gentlemen.
Okay. How do you feel about random? Tanner, how do you feel about random?
Good.
Okay. All right. As you know, each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Here we go. The tradition of homecoming allegedly began at Mizzou in 1911 when the Tigers hosted Kansas. Who was our nation's president at the time? So who was the nation's president in 1911?
Woodrow Wilson, final answer.
All right, question number 2. On Tuesday night, Bronny James made his NBA debut in the Lakers' season opening win over the Timberwolves. Where did Bronny play high school hoops? So where did he go to high school? Options? Options are Oakland Hill Academy, Sierra Canyon, or St. Vincent St. Mary's.
St. Vincent St. Mary's.
Final answer?
Yep.
All right, Tanner, question 3. 95% of the pumpkins grown in the United States are harvested in which state's soil?
Options.
Indiana, Ohio, or Illinois?
Ohio. Final answer.
Final question for you, Tanner. Through how many states does the Missouri River flow?
Options.
Your options are 7, 8, or 10.
8. Final answer.
All right, let's bring back Carey from the Cone of Silence. How you feeling, Tanner?
Good.
Okay. All right, second round of the gauntlet here. Carey's making his way back in.
Pretty fast, fellas.
That was.
Making your way downtown, walking fast, faces passing homebound.
All right, hey. Let's focus. Let's focus.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tanner beat us yesterday because we were goofing around.
You're right.
He did beat us as a unit,
As a team.
as a whole.
You can say it.
Marsh. All right. CD, your category today is 100% completely random.
Oh, that's wonderful, isn't it?
Are you ready?
Gladiators, ready! Yeah.
Are you ready?
Are you going to the mall?
No, I'm not. Keep smelling, mister. All right, here we go. The tradition of homecoming allegedly began at Mizzou in 1911 when the Tigers hosted Kansas. Who was our nation's president at that time?
Well, first of all, it started the year before at the University of Illinois, but that's neither here nor there. This is options, please.
William Howard Taft, Woodrow Wilson, or William McKinley?
The W's, eh? William Howard Taft, Woodrow Wilson, or William McKinley?
Correct.
I go William Howard Taft. Final answer?
Well, you said it. Question number 2. On Tuesday night, Bronny James made his NBA debut in the Lakers' season opening win over the Timberwolves. Where did Bronny play high school hoops?
Sierra Canyon. Final answer.
All right, CD, 95% of the pumpkins grown in the United States are harvested in which state's soil?
Options.
Indiana, Ohio, Illinois.
I'm not taking any options. How the hell do I know that?
Well, you went from, 1 in 50-ish. I mean, you could probably eliminate some. But down to 3.
Indiana, Illinois, or Ohio? I wonder if Ohio... This is random. Go out, Ohio. The reasoning behind it, okay.
Question number 4. Through how many states does the Missouri River flow?
The Missouri River. Not the Mississippi. That is I feel like it's 3 or 4. I could be wrong completely. Probably should take an option. It's not going to matter because I don't know. How many states does the Missouri River flow through? I just have to repeat it just to make sure. Is that correct?
That is correct. How many states does the Missouri River flow?
Give me 4. Final answer.
Let the spice flow.
Yeah. I feel great.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Hey, come on. Let's focus. Tanner versus Carey. 95% of the pumpkins grown in the United States are harvested in which state's soil? We just heard Carey say Ohio with some vague reason behind it. What's the reason?
I don't know. I just thought of a seed. I thought of Ohio
Buckeyes?
the seed.
Very close to a pumpkin.
It just made sense.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Oh, all right. Tanner also said Ohio.
Yeah.
Correct answer is...
Well, gentlemen, pumpkins are orange, and so are those Illini. It's
Illinois.
I would have known that.
Well, now you do.
Okay.
Through how many states does the Missouri River flow? Without the options.
Should have taken the option.
Carey said 4. Tanner, with the options, said 8. Your options were 7, 8, 10.
Boo!
Correct answer is...
It's 7.
Didn't matter anyways. Go ahead, Marsh.
What?
Okay. Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri.
I thought you wanted me to read the next question.
No. I read it. Somebody in the car right now was, what's the 7? Yeah. Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, and Missouri. Marsh, score check.
It is 0-0.
That's correct. On Tuesday night, Bronny James made his NBA debut in the Lakers' season-opening win over the Timberwolves. Where did Bronny play high school hoops? Carey, you said Sierra Canyon without the options. Tanner, you said St. Vincent St. Mary's.
That's his father.
Okay, Mr. Know-It-All. Let's see if you're actually right. Correct answer is...
Yeah, it's Sierra Canyon.
You're right. Yeah, you're 100% right. So Carey's got a 2-0 lead. Comes down to this. The tradition of homecoming allegedly began at Mizzou in 1911 when the Tigers hosted Kansas. Who was our nation's president at that time? Carey, you went with William Howard Taft with the options. Tanner, in 2.48 seconds, said Woodrow Wilson without the options.
Wow.
Must know his Mizzou homecoming knowledge.
Or
his presidents. If it's Woodrow Wilson, we got to walk off. If it's literally any other U.S. president ever born, Carey wins. Tanner.
You have chosen poorly.
It was William Howard Taft. He was in office from 1909 to 1913. Woodrow Wilson took over after that, was in president. It was the president, 1913, in office, I should say, from 1913 to 1921. So Tanner, you were right there. You were in the stadium. But unfortunately, it was William Howard Taft, not Woodrow Wilson. Sorry, man.
Good job, Tanner.
Thank you. Good job, Tanner!
Yeah! I think Tanner was in high school.
That was awesome.
I think he's got a game today. He must be around his teammates.
It's all good.
Nice. Well, good.
That's pretty cool.
Appreciate you listening, Tanner. Nice job. Nice job, Carey. You win 3-0,
I got
Terry.
nervous when you said he didn't need the options.
Yeah.
And he answered in 2.whatever seconds.
Uh-huh.
I got nervous. I started.
Yeah, he was
confident.
He was very confident on that. Very confident. Nonetheless, that confidence got him nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, no, he got to win. He got to win.
You got to win. Yes,
You got to win.
Yeah, he did. All right, we got to get to Chris Kerber at 4:30.
It's a little different. You usually
It's usually at 4.
Yep.
I was already there. And I was going to Chris Kerber at 4:15.
Well, and he also does join us at 3:15.
Typically.
Today is a little different.
No, we're going to get into these Cardinals moves next. So the Cardinals made some moves today. They declined the 2025 club options for Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, and Kenyon Middleton. We'll talk about whether or not there's any surprise there and whether or not they're making the right move. That's next on 101 ESPN. Casey just reached out to us from the Snake Pit saying thank you guys for changing up the schedule so he being Tanner, could play before hockey practice. Nice job, CD. Absolutely. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Casey.
We'll change things up
Tanner.
at any point.
I can't believe you beat him, Carey. What the heck?
You know, it's not personal. I'm competitive.
It felt kind of personal.
Well, how's it feel? Beat the nice guy.
I mean, you do it all the time.
He's a kid.
Listen, I don't let my son win at anything.
No, that's a good call. You can't.
Nothing. You got to earn this win, brother.
Hey, what was that thing?
We're in lockstep.
Yeah.
You said it yesterday. You're like, when you come onto my field, your kids are now my kids.
Yeah, they're my kids. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the coach. They're my kids.
Yep.
And I'm going to teach them.
I'm going to turn them right back to you in about an hour or so.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, so the Cardinals have declined their $11 million team option for right-hander Lance Lynn. They have declined their $12 million club option for Kyle Gibson, and they have declined the $6 million club option that they had for Keenan Middleton. All three are gone. Not a surprise on any of them. The only questionable, the only player that might have been up for debate would have been Kyle Gibson. Somebody that pitched, fairly well. He had a 4.24 ERA and a 1.35 WHIP last year. Somebody that was a veteran leader for them. Somebody that could have helped bridge the gap again for another year. But I don't think it was necessary. This is nothing against Kyle Gibson at all, or Lance Lynn, or Middleton. At some point, and now's the time, so here's the point. You have to move on from the bridge options. Unless you absolutely have a massive gap between, where you are now from a farm system standpoint and where you need to be, there's no reason not to go to the farm system to fill out this pitching staff for 2025. So I've got zero issue with the Cardinals declining the options for all three.
I don't either. I thought they wanted to see Keenan Middleton pitch. They didn't get anything from him other than in spring training. So I thought that they were going to want to see what he had. There was a lot of, hype around what he was going to bring, and unfortunately we never got to see it here during the regular season. Kyle Gibson is a bit of surprise because he was arguably your second best pitcher last year. I mean, if you say Sonny was the best, Kyle was your second best. I don't even think
Palante, maybe.
If you were the entire season, though, the entire body of work, I think Kyle Gibson was the second best, and Palante would be right in there as well. But I mean, even still, second, third best pitcher, year 2 or year 3, he's not coming back or not going to be re-signed at this moment. It's a bit interesting, but I do think, for me, it gives me some hope because it gives me the belief that, they realize that the way that they were doing things didn't work or hasn't worked, and we need to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
We talked about this yesterday with the Blues and how they do a good job of not blocking the future players, whereas the Cardinals have blocked guys and not allowed them to have space or an opportunity to play. I think these moves allow some of these guys, these younger guys, Graceffo, McGreevy, Tink Hintz, if he's ready, it gives them an opportunity to get here and play without having a veteran player under contract making $10 to $12, $14 million, and now you got to wait. So I think it's a good sign. I think it's a good thing for them, and hopefully, we get to see some of those younger guys in spring training work their way, compete to make a roster spot, and then get an opportunity to play during the season.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, guys, the conversation doesn't start here. It doesn't start with Lance Lynn, Gibson, and Middleton. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that they declined the options for all three guys. I think the conversation starts at Miles Mikolas. Because when you look at the starting rotation next year, unless you trade Sonny Gray and try to get out from the contract because you're going to go the complete cheap route, Sonny Gray, Eric Fetty, and Andre Palante are slotted in 1 through 3. 4 would be Miles Mikolas, and 5 could be Steven Matz. But to me, I'm trying to replace Matz and Mikolas. If I have to eat one of those contracts, I will. The other one, probably Matz, can be moved into the bullpen. I want 2 spots open for my 2 young pitchers next year. That's my take on it. Mikolas, to me, hasn't done anything in the last 2 years to provide any optimism that he's going to be fine in that starting rotation next year. I'm turning the page. That's me, though.
Do you want me to respond as Kerry Davis or as Cardinal management?
Let's go Kerry Davis first.
Okay, I agree. I think that's a great idea. I think you are spot on. I think that if you're going to do it, do it. I don't know how it gets done. I don't know. Miles Mikolas is owed $17 million next year. It's a hefty hefty fee. Steven Matz is owed $12 million next year. If you're eating half of those, you're eating $20 million.
I think you can move Matz to the bullpen.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, because he's done it.
He's done it.
That's a $12 million arm.
What is he going to say? You're going to be upset about $12 million?
And if someone stinks, then just make him a starter then.
Right. Like he's your break glass in case of emergency.
Absolutely.
So I think that I agree that probably can happen. Now, as the Cardinals, no way in hell, buddy. You're asking for too much. Did you solid? Don't overdo it, pal. All right? I did you a solid.
Because you don't think they're going to eat.
Nah, hell no. Why would they do that?
You don't think they're going to eat the Michaelis contract?
No, and they don't. And there's to me, unless there is a drastic shift in what they have done in the past, and we don't know because we don't know Chaim Bloom's expectations going forward. We know what Mo has done. There has never been a sign that says, yeah, we're just going to go in a full youth movement and not have veterans to kind of steady and right the ship if things go bad. If you do that, if you move on from Miles Michaelis and from Steven Matz, you're essentially saying, Eric Fetty, Sonny Gray, and young guys, let's go.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
I don't either.
I mean, you got Sonny Gray, so you have two veterans. I don't know. The money thing is where I'm hung up on. Mm-hmm. But you also, if you want to justify it, right? If you're in the front office and ownership comes to Mo and he says, and the owners are like, hey, I don't want to eat this contract with Miles Michaelis. You could say, okay, you're not paying the young guys anything. So it kind of evens out from a money standpoint. It's not like you're getting rid of the $17 million and then you're signing somebody to replace him for $20 million.
So if you were to get rid of Miles Michaelis and Steven Matz, you might as well go move on from Ryan Helsley as well.
Well, I'm just moving Steven Matz into the pen.
You're not removing him completely.
I'm not removing him, no, because there's 1 year left.
Okay.
And Matz, like I said, Matz can be a bullpen arm. And again, there's somebody that could be a starter for you in case, because you're going to have injuries.
Mm-hmm. Which is why they won't get rid of Miles Michaelis, because you're going to have injuries. Which is why what you just said, you just made the point for why those guys stay on the roster and they don't remove those contracts. Because inevitably, someone is going to get hurt.
But I don't think Michaelis comes out of the pen.
No, he's not. He's going to be in the starting rotation. Because somebody's going to get hurt, and you're going to need help.
I mean, that is true. I mean, we don't want to wish for injuries, but it does happen.
Yeah.
This whole, eat innings thing, I don't understand the whole, well, this guy, we need him because he's going to eat innings. You
didn't eat innings last year.
You have to be slightly good. I mean, not that he's not, but, there's spells where he is not good. And you're not eating innings. You're going 4 innings. That's not eating innings. Correct. That's just you being on the roster and pitching.
Plus, here's the other thing, too, about the whole eat innings thing.
All the guys that they got to eat innings didn't this past season.
Yeah, correct.
Except for maybe Gibson when, things went down. He's an absolute pro, stays out there for maybe longer than he should. But that didn't happen all the time.
But the Major League Baseball teams aren't eating innings right now. You're looking to go 5 and dive. Mm-hmm. They're so specialized. The game is so specialized now. They want to get in the 6th and 7th and start playing their matchups. Mm-hmm. There's no eating of innings.
Look at the Dodgers. They just won with their bullpen.
Exactly. It's a mirage. Mm-hmm. If you really want to have a pitching staff that's going to eat innings, you better start developing guys in terms of how to pitch instead of just rear back and fire and make sure your K rate is up.
Well, honestly, the only people that can eat innings essentially are aces. Like you saw Garrett Cole last night. Even though they had that bad 5th inning, he still went out there for another inning in a third or 2/3.
Yeah. Yep.
That was impressive by him to continue going out there through, I believe, 108 pitches.
Mm-hmm. It was 115.
No one's doing that.
Yeah. Well, only
aces are.
Well, no one's allowed to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. And I don't think if, people were saying, and I know we're switching topics, but they were talking about Aaron Boone taking him out in game 1. He wasn't going to throw him 115 pitches in game 1 because he didn't want to blow him up and not have. Game 5, he's probably not pitching anymore this series. Who the hell cares? You got an entire offseason to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And you're our best option. So that's why they did that. I don't know that the Cardinals have a pitcher on their staff that can go 100 and 115, 120 pitches in a setting like that, or that would. Right now, I don't think that they do.
Or would they let them?
That
was a big question
in the
this
World
past
Series
season.
Game 5, and they're.
Well, you got to get to the playoffs.
I think there's. I think there's that.
They won 83 games now.
I think there's that. Teams not letting them, but I also think nowadays everybody's throwing, nobody's pitching.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean nobody, like there's zero pitchers. I just mean there's the majority of the league is set up now. You know, somebody called me out, and rightfully so, when I said Sonny Gray isn't an ace, he's your ace. And people are like, well, how many aces are in Major League Baseball right now? Not a ton, bless you, Marsh. There's not a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And that was their point, and they're right when they said that. You look around Major League Baseball, there's not a ton of aces. There's not a ton of, like, number one's, I'm sorry, you're like seventh inning consistently.
Paul Skeens. Would you put Wheeler on that list?
Yes.
I would. Chris Sale?
No.
Really? He's going to win the Cy Young.
Seriously.
Okay. Chris Sale won.
That's another guy that you could have been creative this past offseason and went and got.
Yeah. No, Chris Sale is one. I just think of the injury history now, and I'm like.
Yeah, I'm talking about here and now.
Obviously, Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole. Who else? Logan Webb. You know, I mean, we're not talking about. I mean, so the Diamondback guys took a step back this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Brandon Pfaadt was not the same dude that he was a year ago. Zach Gallen, good year, not great.
Mm-hmm.
How many aces?
That's a good question.
Aaron Nole's no longer an ace. He's a solid two.
You don't think he's an you don't consider
he's a
him
solid
an ace?
two.
The Ranger Suarez was an ace. Wasn't he pitching ace material?
That
until
Phillies
he got
rotation
hurt?
was
They
excellent.
Were all,
yeah.
But that's like a 1 year type thing. We're probably looking at like
the
at
entire,
least a 5 to 6 year run where this guy is dominating.
Yeah.
Faces.
I don't think that
You
exists.
have to develop
anymore.
those exactly. You have to develop those guys now. Guys,
there are
the majority of the majority of the league is throwing. That's what Major League Baseball is. That's what you're scouting now. Can you throw up or not? Can you throw 90, 95 plus? Yes, I can. Cool. You're good. We're good with you. Can he pitch? We have no idea.
If that's the case, though, you have to develop a good bullpen. You have to develop a good bullpen.
Definitely.
I feel like there's teams that don't do that.
Yeah. All right, we've got our Sports Six-Pack next. If you got a question for us, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Again, Sports Six-Pack next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Dodgers win the World Series. Final score 7-6 in Game 5 over the New York Yankees. The Yankees looked sharp early in last night's game, a 5-0 lead, but they blew it in the 5th inning. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. If you missed that conversation, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We just went over the Cardinals, who declined the 2025 club options for Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, and Kenyon Middleton. Again, if you missed any conversations from today, just head to the website or use the free 101 mobile app. The Blues take on the Flyers tonight. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6. We'll talk with Chris Kerber at 4:30, so stay tuned for that. But coming up next, we have our six-pack, Sports Six-Pack. Make sure you get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Six-pack coming your way next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
So apparently we left off about half the league when it comes to the Aces.
What do we know?
Got a lot of texts, both personal and otherwise. Our guy Bradford Bruns texting Corbin Burns. Of course, he's an ace. He says Raggins isn't there yet, but he's seemingly on the way too. Yep. We got Tarek Skubal as well on the text line. So we screwed up. Yeah. We did not list off most of the aces. And as a punishment, we've decided that we will leave the show at 5 o'clock.
Sounds good.
They decided for us. They told us we got to get out of here.
Yeah. That also coincides with the Blues pregame show right here on 101 ESPN. But without further ado, question 1, please.
Question number 1.
Well, speaking of aces, according to everyone else but us, from 636, do the Dodgers go and get Corbin Burns and repeat?
Yeah, sure. Corbin Burns and Juan Soto will be the top of the list there for the Dodgers. Yeah, why wouldn't they?
I'm all for
What's stopping them from
doing that? Do it.
Major League Baseball certainly is not stopping them. Major League Baseball doesn't care about fan dynamics or drama. They're not creating
That wasn't drama last night in New York?
That was drama. I think the World Series definitely had World Series drama. It just didn't last the amount of games that I think a lot of people were expecting or hoping.
Game 1 had drama. Game 5 drama.
Yeah.
Come on.
Game 4 had drama.
Ish.
You had the New York Yankee fan growing up hit a grand slam.
Yeah, the New York great Yankees fans stealing the ball from Mookie Betts.
Drama. Game 3 had Fat Joe singing. That was dramatic.
Hey, not that dramatic.
Baseball season's over with. Okay.
No,
let's move along now.
You had Freddie Freeman continue to hit
what did he
runs.
Won
Won the MVP.
For what?
Tying the most RBIs in World Series history.
You know what he didn't do? He didn't win the NLCS MVP.
No, he didn't.
If he was that good, he would have won both.
He's no David Freese, that's for sure. No.
Yeah, I'm okay with it because I think what it also does is it gives people a team to hate. When the Warriors added Kevin Durant, everyone hated them because they were expected to win. And they were when LeBron and Chris Bosh went to Miami, they were hated. But it was must-see TV. You had to see them because this is amazing. Like it gives people, it fuels it's not as bad to me as people would say it is because, oh, it's bad for baseball. No, it's not because you're going to watch. Even if you hate watch, you're going to watch. You want them to lose. Anthony cheered them on in hopes that they would damn lose. That was his plan.
I did what I could, guys.
It didn't work.
I did what it worked for a game, and it worked for, last night they were up 5-0.
Yeah,
My powers can only do so much.
I tried to tee up last night. I tried to tee up in the group chat in the ninth inning. We're heading to the ninth. I said, man, Anthony, you were spot on. These Dodgers are coming away with it.
Yeah.
And it just nothing.
And, I texted.
Well, after the game was over.
Was it after the game?
No, you texted
I texted you right back.
No!
Yeah, I texted you right back.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. At that point, I knew
it was over.
My powers were limited,
Because the Dodgers were a really good team.
No, because the Yankees booted the ball around in the fifth. I gave them a 5-0 lead.
You did.
I even gave them an Aaron Judge home run.
You did.
Like, I don't know what else I can do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're only a man, though.
Yeah,
I'm only one man. Thank you.
You said Jack Flaherty was going to shove.
Yeah, I took care of Jack Flaherty, and I gave the Yankees a lead.
Shoved his glove right into that wooden bench as he sat there for the rest of the game.
You sit here. You stink.
He is a world
champion. Did he cost himself some do-re-mi?
Probably.
I think he did, too.
He's still a champ.
He is.
And he had a really good regular season. And and that was a bad game yesterday. He pitched well in
Game one.
Mm-hmm. So
he pitched well in every first appearance in every series.
So I don't think he cost himself that much money. He had how many wins did he have last year? 13? He did well last year.
I still think he gets a 2-year deal based on the injury history and all that.
Probably.
What do you think? Right here, St. Louis?
2 years, 25 a year?
Nope, not in St. Louis. I think he goes to the
20 a year?
Mets.
The Mets.
Yeah.
Interesting. Grant Francis fan club says your powers are weak, old man.
What the? Come on. The Yankees were dead in the water. I gave him a win and a 5-0 lead. Did what I could. Now, was I tired? Sure. Yeah. Took everything I had.
That's how bad the Yankees were.
Fortunately, I have mentality. Lift my spirits, my energy levels, and my mood. Yeah. All right, we'll continue our sports six-pack. Did we get to any of them?
Get to one?
Yeah,
one question. But it was a very important question about the Aces. We had to make sure everyone knew that.
We could have wrapped that thing up.
Well.
Yes, Burns is going to be a Dodger next year. Question 2, please. We'll be next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
Let's continue our Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with question 2, please.
Question number 2.
All right, Anthony, in the break, you were talking about candy, Halloween. You're excited for it?
Oh, yeah.
From a 314, this is a perfect question. Was just curious what Anthony's kids are being for Halloween.
Ah, yes. So, everybody knows that some regular listeners know that I started to dive into the Avengers, and I started watching them quickly and became a big fan of the Winter Soldier. So I'm like, hey, my wife Kristen, she likes kind of the family theme Halloween. So I say, hey, what if we all do we're the Avengers this year? Mm-hmm. Each one of us could be a different Avenger. And Lincoln, my little guy, who's going to turn 3 in a couple of days here, he wanted to be Spider-Man. So I'm like, hey, perfect. You're Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. I could be the Winter Soldier. And Kristen's not in the Avengers, but she's like, what do you think? I'm like, Captain Marvel. She's got blonde hair. We're good. Perfect. My daughter chose the Black Widow.
Nice.
And then Killian chose, he was going back and forth to Iron Man and some of the other ones. Then all of a sudden, my Killian's a ninja. Lincoln's still Spider-Man. And Madeline is Cowgirl Barbie.
Oh, they
Cute
switched
outfit.
on you.
Yeah,
They switched on you.
well, I think Kristen. I'm not. I think she got to him.
You had it all mapped out, though.
I did.
The Winter Soldier needs the rest of the
Yes.
Avengers, right?
Yes. So I'm like,
He wanted to make his kids the Avengers so he could dress up as the Winter Soldier.
That's
He's not
correct.
even an Avenger, by the way.
what the hell?
He's like a part of the team, but he's not.
He should be a part of the team. He should be. He should be an
for
Avenger.
half the movies.
Okay, sure. Did he kill
He
Iron
ripped-
Man's father? Yes.
And mother.
And mother. But he was under the spell. You know who wanted him to be an Avenger? Captain America. Okay?
Are you
That's
still
good enough for me.
Are you still the Winter Soldier?
No.
Why not?
I gave up on the dream.
Who are you going to be then?
Nobody. Me. Gotta be me. Going as myself. Yeah. No, this is where we're at today. I was at a store. I texted Chris. I'm like, hey, should we just wear these pumpkin T-shirts? We'll match. Like, that's where I'm at now.
You're over it.
I tried to.
Kristen's listening. Kristen just texted me. She goes, Carey and Mark are exactly right.
He wanted the entire family to dress up so he could be the Winter Soldier.
You can still be the Winter Soldier.
He
don't need the kids.
He's not feeling the vibe, though. He needed the entire crew.
I needed the entire crew.
Yeah, okay.
And I thought to myself, hey, this is a good combination. I'm gonna get involved with the family costumes, and it's also something I actually want to do.
So next year, just buy the costumes. Just if you're gonna force it on, just do it. This is the costume. This is what you are. This is who I am.
I got your sizes and everything. Here you go. It was a great idea.
Oh, man.
G-Dog and the snake pig goes, Kristen is awesome with 9 exclamation points. Oh,
You dressing up this year, Carey?
Nah, I'm chilling. Yeah, chilling.
Kristen goes, you needed us, but we were out. with a pieces sign. See ya. All right. I love you, Kristen.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, yes, a ninja, Spider-Man. Lincoln sticking with Spider-Man. And Cowgirl, Barbie. It's cute outfits.
Awesome.
Cute outfits all the way around. Yeah.
Just not the unit that you were going for.
No. And Killian's got Kristen got him all the swords and size and things like that.
Man, that's tough. He's having a tough week. The Yankees lose.
Yeah.
They botch a 5th inning.
Yeah, it's tough.
Not going to be the Winter Soldier.
Here's the thing, though. I still got Kansas City Chiefs. Got to beat those Buccaneers on Monday night. You know, stay undefeated. Actually, I can't do this.
You don't feel
no,
it?
it's not the playoffs. No, it's not the playoffs.
No, put them back on because
I give you the Falcons.
there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll beat them Dallas Cowboys.
Of course.
Yes.
Because the Cowboys stink.
Yes, they do.
They can't.
I don't think the Seahawks are that good either, and they beat us like a drum. So, but still, first place in the NFC South, boys. First place. Kirky football, just carving up teams.
You could go as Kirk Cousins.
I could.
Swear,
You
nice chain.
could go as Kirk Cousins.
You could.
Now it's not too late. It's not too late.
I'll think about it.
There's a Kohl's right down the road, Anthony. Go get some clothes.
All I have to do is basically get a plaided shirt,
Yep.
some khakis,
Yeah.
and a fake gold chain.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good stuff.
Question number 3.
From the 980, guys, my question is, when I look at the Blues games, I'm starting to see a similar issue in every game. I'm noticing that the new guys to the team are outshining the guys who have been with the organization. Have you all witnessed the same issues? And do you guys think that the guys that have been in the organization are carrying bad habits from previous seasons over to this season?
Wow, that's a really good question. I think if we're being realistic, I think that it's a small sample size, but it's hard to deny. I mean, the texter nailed it. It's hard to deny that the newcomers have made not only a big impact, they have made the biggest impact of anybody on the team. But I do think it's a small sample size, and we'll let this thing play out. I don't know about the bad habits because some of these guys also were still here when they won a cup. So I don't know.
I don't think it's that. I think you are seeing, you're seeing Broberg, you're seeing guys that Holloway, you're seeing guys that you didn't see last year. So it probably looks different. I know Jordan Kyrou hadn't scored since he missed his opportunity, and Anthony's still upset about it to have a hat trick in first game of the year.
Has he played well since? He'll get one
He's
tonight.
been playing pretty. I think he's playing. I think he's shooting the puck. He's doing all of the things. He's just not scoring. And so, it may not be what you want, but it's what you're getting. I don't know if it's just necessarily that there are bad habits. Do bad habits creep in from time to time? Yes. Do they need to work on that? I'm sure they had a conversation about it after the old touchdown and 2-point conversion last game that they gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In hockey. Which is tough.
That's not easy.
Because each goal is only worth one goal.
That's strange.
It's not like it's
Strange
not basketball
numbers.
where you shoot it from different areas on the ice. It only counts for one.
There's a bunch of birds flying.
are.
I think they might be falcons.
Circling. Yeah. That's your sign, Anthony.
Circling a cowboy out there.
No,
Know what I
baby.
mean?
Yep.
I don't like this at all. I'm pumping them up too much. Last time I did this, I lost 34-19 or 14.
To who?
Seattle.
Oh.
Remember, you guys were all, the Falcons are a top 10 team now. I was
You hated
congratulating you guys. Yeah, you're right, but I still won't do it. Yep.
I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
Thank you.
Okay.
Guys, the 6-1 hate usually filled with hate towards teams in this great city, but he is always good for a zinger or two.
Yeah.
The 6-1 hate is dressing up as Bill DeWitt and cutting his candy budget.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yep.
I like that. I'll give you effort points on that 618.
Do it.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any questions, or should we move on here, Mark?
Let's get one more in.
Okay.
Question number 5.
I don't know.
I thought that was 3.
Like
I think
4, 5,
she
6.
just pushed the number.
There's been a lot of questions within these questions.
We're done at 5, so it feels like like one of those days.
We've had a few people text
I
in.
said Chris Kerber was coming on at 3:15. It was 4:15.
Yeah.
So
4:30.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Is it 4:30?
Yeah, it's 4:30.
It is. It's 4:30. It says right here on the rundown.
You're still flustered that you're not the Winter Soldier tonight. We have a decent amount of people texting in. Do you guys think that the Dodgers are becoming a dynasty?
I hope not.
Here's the
my
thing.
goodness.
Here's the thing. When you go into the Bronx and win a game in the manner in which you did last night, you got Freddie Freeman hitting the grand slam, walk-off grand slam, right? I'm seeing blue here. I'm seeing it for the next couple of years. And if they decide to go after, you said Corbin Burns. Yep. Juan Soto. Yes. Do you know how fantastic the LA Dodgers are going to be for the next, 3 to 5 year span? Outstanding. Some of the best players you've ever watched play baseball. You ever seen a 50-50 season before, Anthony?
No.
Not until this year, huh? You want to see 60-60? Just wait. And a Cy Young on top of it. Wow. Ooh, you almost forgot that Shohei would probably be pitching next year. Huh? Best hitter, best pitcher on the same team in one person. Oh, my goodness. Yes. The dynasty is real, fellas. Take note. Get excited. Yeah.
I've seen this happen before.
Yep.
In a documentary called Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where the chosen one, a young Anakin Skywalker, was actually duped into joining the dark side.
Really?
Yeah, and it becoming one of the greatest villains of all time in Darth Vader.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is very similar, where
Feeling it.
the guy who you think ride or die on your side ends up joining the other side, the bad side.
Are they winning? Did the bad side win?
Well, it took a couple movies for them to finally lose, but they had quite the run. They had quite the run.
I don't like this at all.
They had quite the run.
Not one bit. Your mom's boyfriend in the snake pit, and it fell off. So I'm paraphrasing this, but he said, "Don't dress your kids in a Cardinals uniform tonight. They won't make it home."
Oh, God.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
We also got a text from the 636. Anthony, just wear a Yankees jersey and say you're trash.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Ooh.
That's.
Or you can wear a Dodgers jersey and say you're a winner.
No, I will never wear a Dodgers uniform.
Yeah.
Or jersey or pants or anything related to the Dodgers. And no, they're not going to be a dynasty. They got to win 3 and 5. They got 1.
They got 2.
No.
They have 2 already.
Doesn't count. 2020 doesn't count.
Walker Buehler dropped an expletive on the broadcast last night after winning the World Series. And it sounded like he was talking to you.
What?
Yeah.
Talking about the 2020 and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Oh, you
I heard him talk, and I was like, I think he might be talking to the Anthony Stalter.
Yeah, he might be. I wasn't listening. All right. Are the Cardinals in the right era to be bad? Marsh had a thought on that. He'll explain what that is next on 101 ESPN. is Fastlane on 101 ESPN. So Andrew Marsh pitched us an idea about the Cardinals being bad in pretty much the right time, like being bad in the right era. Marsh, what was your thought process on that?
Yeah, so obviously the Dodgers, they win the World Series. It seems like they'll probably win another one, at least in the next 2 or 3 years, maybe even next year. And, the Cardinals are going through a rough patch right now within the organization. And I don't think that even if they were to field the team in like 2022, like let's go back to 2022 where they did make the playoffs, like even like that team, I don't know if that team could compete with what we just witnessed. So even if they were in a spot where, okay, we just make the playoffs, we continue this just get in type thing, but we don't really have a World Series contender, I'm almost okay with, and obviously we don't have a we don't have a choice given what direction they're going in, but I'm almost like okay with them doing this now while the Dodgers just keep funneling money towards the best players in baseball, because at some point, the Freddie Freemans, the whoever else is on their team in terms of like the contract, like Shohei Ohtani, he'll get older and whatnot. They'll eventually get older. Maybe they're not as good. Now, one could argue, well, the Dodgers, they'll just keep paying everybody, so they'll never go away.
True.
But at least right now, I don't mind the Cardinals being bad because I know that they have no shot to compete. Even if they did have a quote-unquote playoff team, there's no way they can compete with this team.
I'm with you on that. I almost take this in a different direction. It's a good time to not do what everybody else is doing. Because baseball has become, there's different levels with baseball. You have your Dodgers, you have your Phillies, you have your, Mets when they do want to spend. But you have the teams, the Yankees that want to spend, they can spend big, and they can keep throwing money at all their problems. Then you have the muddled middle where the Cardinals are at, and you wind up in a situation where you're 1 foot in each category. We can spend, just not that much, or we can spend it, but we don't want to spend that much, I should probably say. But we also kind of want to be in player development. And you chase both rabbits at the same time, you wind up with none. Then you have the absolute dregs of the league who are just flat out stealing money because all the owners want to do is be profitable and they don't care about their fan base. Like those are the three levels. But really, is anybody doing anything differently right now in Major League Baseball? We are getting to the point where all 30 teams are almost in that same line of thinking. Power arms, power bats. We'll try to win with the home runs. We'll try to win with strikeouts. We're all good. It's a homogenized league right now, CD.
I agree. I think most teams are trying to win in that manner. But I thought that's what made what L.A. did last night so special. Like, Mookie Betts hit a sac fly and was pumping his fist as he hit the ball. Like, as soon as the ball was hit, he knew that he hit it deep enough to drive a run in. Like, those things still matter, and that was their approach. Like, get the ball, don't strike out. Whereas in the regular season, I think the problem that you have with baseball is it's incentivized to strike out or hit a home run. Like, that's an incentive for that player.
Right. Yeah, because it's all about money.
Because they get paid.
Yes.
But when it comes down to winning a championship, all of that goes out the window. You play the game the right way once you get into the playoffs, because nobody cares if you strike. It's a selfish thing that takes place and that has taken place. And I don't blame the players. Yeah, you should be selfish. You should do everything you can do. If I'm Nolan Gorman, why would I want to hit the ball on the ground? I want to hit. I don't care if I strike out, whatever.
Right, you get paid.
I'm trying to get $40 million a year. So I'm going to hit the ball as hard as I can. And if I swing and miss, well, okay, cool. Because that's where baseball has gone. But I think the thing that makes it better or makes it exciting and fun is when you see games like last night, when you see teams hitting the ball to the right side of the infield to get a runner to the next base, to get to third base. You see Jazz Chisholm tagging up on a play where Juan Soto scores and he's taking an extra base. Like, those are the small detailed things that help you win games. And so I think if a manager or an organization does those things consistently and well enough throughout an entire year and puts yourself in playoff baseball mode for an entire season and make it to the playoffs, it's easier to win than it is to try to turn it on once the playoffs hit. Like that's a focus that you have. Mookie Betts is a pro because he's like, I'm not striking out here. I don't give a damn what I do. I'm not striking out. I gotta get the ball in play some kind of way.
Yeah.
And so, I think that you can still win without power arms or hitting home runs or striking out like that. It can be more than that if you plan your team accordingly and plan for it to be that.
Right. Teams aren't doing that.
That's what I'm saying. But if you want to, because that has to almost become the philosophy.
Correct.
You're not going to spend the
it.
money to outshine or outpay players than the Dodgers are. It's certain teams, certain organizations that cannot. But that doesn't mean you can't win a championship or put yourself in position to win a championship.
I think the best ideas are often born out of desperation. Teams get desperate. Like, look at the A's. And I almost hate that the thought process now behind the Moneyball A's is, well, the movie Moneyball didn't talk about how good their pitching is. Fair. But that's not what the movie was about. And then we get this, well, everybody's got these analytics have ruined the game. They did that out of desperation. They had to find a different way.
Right.
And you know what? It did work from a regular season standpoint, and the dirt poor A's got into the playoffs. But they did something out of desperation. It worked. Teams now do things all the same way out of fear of looking stupid.
Yeah.
We'd rather have this herd mentality because at least, we're just another sheep in the herd. But that's all you are. You're just another sheep in the herd.
You should be a trendsetter, not a follower.
And here's the funny thing about trends too, Marsh, is what was once old can be new again.
Yeah, like 90s clothes.
Yes. Exactly. We have seen, and it's not, we have seen the fashion trends come back around. Why? They're not inventing the wheel. It's just new again, or you think it's new again. So I'm waiting for a team, maybe it's the damn Cardinals, to wise up and say, you know what? We are not going to spend like the Dodgers. We're not going to outspend them. We're not going to come close. The Phillies are trying it right now. Phillies got bounced too. What can we do that is different from all of Major League Baseball right now, or most of Major League Baseball right now? Sink your investments and your scouting and your development into pitchers that actually pitch. They don't just throw 95 right out of the gates. They're saving that to the 7th, 8th inning. They're pitching. The game has become all about bullpens. Okay, well, you go back to all about starting pitching and all about the ballpark. Teams used to build their teams based on their ballpark. Busch Stadium is not Yankee Stadium. The Yankees should have a full damn lineup of lefty mashers. Why? There's a jet stream out to right center. You should build your team based on your ballpark. The Cardinals should sink all of their scouting, development, research, all that into pitching. Find actual pitchers, whether they throw 98 plus or they're a Greg Maddux type, and he's just so smart that he pitches. I would love to see the Cardinals do something different. Or if it's not going to be the Cardinals, somebody else. Because what's going on right now, it's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and it's boring.
Do you think the Orioles are doing something similar to that, where you're investing into the young players, except for maybe they're not doing it in the starting pitching aspect of things?
I think the Cardinals should copy what the Orioles have done in terms of we're going all youth, but when you get to that point, then you better spend. And I'm waiting now for Baltimore to spend. What we're talking about Corbin Burns going to the Dodgers. Why wouldn't the Orioles be all in on bringing back Corbin Burns? Who are you paying right now? Yeah, now is your time. Now is your window. That I think is a good model. Now, Orioles were bad for a while too. There's a reason why they were able to get Jackson Holiday and all these other guys. I don't think the Cardinals are ever going to be that bad, but I don't mind that they're going player development here. But what's the game plan for player development? Because it can't just be, well, just got a young team. A young team of what? A young team that's going to play the small ball? a young team that's going to focus, mostly on pitching and defense. What is your identity for the organization moving forward? That's my thought on that. So is it a good time, March, to come full circle like you asked? Mm-hmm. Is it a good time? Is this a good era with the Dodgers being so good? It all depends. What's the game plan? Mm-hmm. If you're trying to copy the rest of the 28 teams that are doing everything besides what the Dodgers and Phillies are doing, good luck. Because those other teams are way better at it than you are. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be it's a really interesting time in Cardinals baseball. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. At the bottom of the hour, we've got Chris Kerber. Coming up next, we've got What's Trending. Hey, today is the last day to get out to Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum and take advantage of their Fall into Savings event, the Fall into Savings event. It came through September and it was in October. But look, when it comes to Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they always have great deals. They always have financing options. That's what they do. And they have a wide selection of vehicles as well. They have over 700 vehicles, in fact, on their lot, all in one location for you to check out. New Nissans, pre-owned vehicles. They've got tremendous deals on, Nissan Altimas priced below $30,000. They got Nissan Sentras and Kicks that are priced below $23,000 right now. They give you the complimentary lifetime warranty. They give you the complimentary maintenance plan and the 30-day return promise so that you constantly feel taken care of. I was at Auto Centers Nissan earlier this week. My wife, Kristen, her Pathfinder needed to be taken in to get an oil change and look at the brakes and things like that. The service department is outstanding. You feel like you're being taken care of. When I got in the vehicle, it was cleaned. It was cleaned up. Looked better than when I brought it in. That is the Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum difference. It's not just about getting you in a car. It's about getting you in the right car, financing that vehicle, making you feel great about it, and then when you need to bring it back for service, because you need routine maintenance on it, you feel taken care of then too, and you constantly keep coming back. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, let them show you that they're different. They're out in Herculaneum, like I mentioned. You can check them out online too at autocentersnissan.com. Tell them Stalter sent you.
What's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Kerry Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter, and Andrew Marsh has What's Trending.
All right, gentlemen, I want to get to the Thursday night football game tonight. But before we do that, City SC, they have a new stadium name. St. Louis City SC will have a new name in 2025, and it is called, drumroll please, Energizer Park.
All right.
Cool.
Energizer Park.
Pretty sweet.
Bring your energy to Energizer Park.
Those fans are always bringing the energy.
Yeah, they are.
Always bringing the energy.
So awesome here. St. Louis City fans are incredible. Best fans in the MLS.
I think the stadium fits the vibe of what the fans bring to each and every game.
Absolutely.
The Energizer Bunny.
No doubt.
So,
love City.
Love it.
Rough year, but they're going to bounce back, probably win it all next year.
Okay.
Well, he's been spot on with his predictions lately.
He has been, actually.
He said the Dodgers were going to win.
He did
in 5 games.
He did.
Said the Yankees were done.
Yep.
And
they were.
I gave the Dodgers a 100% chance of winning last night.
You did.
Yeah. So, congratulations. City SC next year, thanks to Anthony Stalter.
Yeah, no, it's not about me. It's about the players and the coaching staff and the fans.
Yeah, I think it's about you.
No.
Anyways, American football. Thursday night football. Jets take on the Houston Texans. Is this a must-win game for the Jets? Yes. Does the Aaron Rodgers experiment hinge upon tonight's game?
I think it hinges upon, one, I think it's over with. Like, I think it's clear that this is not going to work. But if you do have any sort of hope, the Jets are going to have to make a run. And they are in a terrible division. The Bills are well out in front here, but it's not like the Jets can't get back into it. But they absolutely won't. I think they're poorly coached. I think he's a crap leader. And this is not going to end well.
Yeah, it's over. I mean, they're sitting there 2-6 right now. You got to win at least 10 games to make it to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think, especially in this division. I think you're going to have to win 10 games. You're going to have to beat Buffalo. Have they played them already? I think they played
Yeah,
them
they
yet?
did. They played on that Monday night a couple of weeks ago.
So you lost to Buffalo already.
Yep.
So you're probably at best split with them. And then you got to beat the Patriots, which you've split with them already. And now you got to beat the Dolphins twice. Like you're not winning the division, and you're going to probably need 10 wins to make it into the playoffs. You got to win 8 games. Good luck with that.
No, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no.
Your defense got worse after you fired Robert Saleh. I have no idea what they're doing with Breece Hall. 2 games for the previous 2 games, he was the workhorse back again. Last week, they went back to more of a committee. I don't think they know who they are, what they want to be. And again, the leadership is poor. And the front office thought, you know what, we'll get Davante Adams. That'll fix everything. Because adding another wide receiver is what you need to turn around a team that has no direction.
Oh, I was going to say it worked for the Rams in OBJ. But that team was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That team was a football team.
They were good before he got there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They just added.
Yeah. They just
Another
added
good
to his
player.
strength.
Why do you think the Jets are favored in this one? Is it simply because of the injuries for the Texans?
I think it's short week, home team, and the injuries. I think it's those 3 things.
I have no clue. I'm going to be honest. Like Vegas, they are pretty spot on. Every now and then they get it completely wrong. But for the most part, they are really good at their jobs. How you have a team that has shown hasn't shown much of anything, offensively, defensively,
or
otherwise.
Yeah.
A quarterback that looks, let's just talk about it. He looks a little older. He's an older gentleman. He hasn't been playing particularly well, throwing the ball to the wrong team, blaming the receivers and referees. It's weird. I have no clue how Vegas has them favored to win this game.
Well,
They're at home.
He's not going to blame himself. Who would do that?
A good player.
Somebody that takes accountability for their life and their actions.
Oh,
a good player. A good teammate. Marshy.
You don't even have to be a good player, just a good leader, right?
A good person.
Or a leader.
Yeah, or a person.
Or a person. Yeah. Or a human being. That
he said, you know what he said the other day, which I thought was hilarious? He said, I've been in the darkness.
I was just about to bring that up. I was
that man. You know, I've been in the darkness.
You're not Bane.
You're not.
You can't win in Pittsburgh like Bane did.
I was born in the darkness, molded by it.
What is he thinking?
Who did win that game?
Bane did.
Bane, he tore the stadium.
He tore the stadium up. Poor Hines Ward still in the bottom of.
Yeah.
No, he actually made it in. He made it to the end zone,
scored.
which he typically does.
And then
did.
the fields.
Then the field collapsed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you know, though, you're not looking at anybody. You know, we talk about baseball players when they hit the ball down the line and they're looking at the ball. We had an argument about that in the office about a month ago or so. We're like, why are you looking at the ball?
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like it's the same thing with football players. Just run, baby.
Yeah, just run.
Don't turn your head.
You waste energy looking around.
Absolutely.
Trying to see who's behind you or near you.
Imagine if he did that.
You know, you can actually look up at the Jumbotron and get a good idea if you're good.
You actually get a good look at a T-bone steak if you stick your head up a bull's rear end. But why wouldn't you just take the butcher's word for it? You know?
It's a great documentary.
Great analogy.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
All right, Chris Kerber next. Talking a little Blues hockey here on 101 ESPN.
Well, we're sitting here in Philadelphia getting ready for the hockey game. Checked in with the family back home, and Halloween is there. Hope everybody has a great, safe Halloween. Trick-or-treating with the kids there tonight. You know what? You want to get ready. You know the winter's coming. You know the winter is coming. Make sure that you call Classic Air Care now. The cold air's coming in. You want to make sure you get that furnace ready to go. Get a maintenance scheduled down so they can come in and check on it. I set one yesterday. They're coming to my house the second week of November. And the only reason I did that far out is I got to be back in town for it. So it fit my schedule. They set it for me to where it fits my schedule. They have a window. And even though it's one of those typical, 8 to noon type windows, they text you when the tech is on the way. So you can be doing other things. They're convenient. The customer service is what they're all about. And by scheduling a maintenance check for your furnace, you know that it's going to be working when you need it most, when the weather turns. You can get air filters online. They are highly rated with their 4.8 Google rating, so you know the customer service is excellent. Get on their schedule like I did and make sure that you are ready to go for the winter. It's Classic Air Care. You can book an appointment online. It's real easy as well at classicaircare.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Dodgers defeat the Yankees in Game 5 of the World Series and win the World Series. Final score 7-6. We talked about the World Series. We talked about some of the Cardinals making moves today as they declined the 2025 club options for Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, and Kenyon Middleton. If you missed any of those conversations, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com. Or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our full shows and interviews there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Blues take on the Flyers tonight. We have an early pregame for you at 5 o'clock. Puck drop will be at 6, and we're going to talk with voice of the Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network, Chris Kerber. We'll talk with him next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Tonight, the Blues will take on the Flyers. Pregame right here on 101 ESPN starting at 5 o'clock, and the puck will drop in Philadelphia about 6:05. And you'll hear, of course, the voice of Chris Kerber, who joins us right now via the Collier and Thompson phone lines. What's up, Kerbs?
Anthony, how are you, bud?
We're doing very well. I like that the line changes tonight. Not that I know that they're going to work or anything like that, but Kerbs, I think you had to do something coming off the 2 losses, specifically the one against Ottawa. I love that Drew Bannister is shaking things up tonight, maybe trying to provide a little jolt with the boys. What do you think?
Well, you know what? I talked to him about that actually this morning, and he said, You're trying to find someone that obviously can put the puck in the net, but you need a worker on every line. And he said, we need to get below the goal line to make a difference.
Kerbs, do you hear that? Sorry, Kerbs, do you hear that beep, that loud noise?
I don't, but hang on a second.
All right, we're going to lower you just for a second, Kerbs, to try to get a better read on this. All right, so Kerbs is actually in Philadelphia, and he's talking to us down the line as it's called in the business, Carey Davis.
Oh, I learn something new every day.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, in Roman times,
okay,
they had radio stations, and they all sat in a line.
Oh.
When you talk down the line, you're just you're talking,
like the game of telephone.
Basically, yeah, that's exactly
where
what
it changes. The game of telephone. When you say one thing at one end, it changes by the time it gets to the other end.
100%.
That's radio talking down the line.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Did they
what
do
it
that
is.
at the Roman Coliseum?
They did.
Is that how they got the information that the tigers would be popping out of the?
That's correct.
The floor.
Yeah, they would talk down the line and say, "Hey, you got to release those tigers now." All right. Okay. I think Kerbs is back with us. Kerbs.
Got you, fellas. We'll just go back to the cell phone. Got something coming down the line there at you.
That's all right. We'll figure that out. But go ahead. I asked you about the line changes and what you think, and you said that you were talking to Drew Bannister.
Yeah, I actually asked Drew Bannister about those, and he said, coaches really like to try and find pairs where you've got somebody that can set it up, somebody that can put it in the net, and then, of course, he goes, every line needs a worker. And, it seems simple, but the bottom line is everyone on that line has to work. If you're a forward and you think that there's going to be someone else can go in the corner to win the puck battles and do some of those small things it takes to win, and you're not going to have to do that. You'll wait for them to get the puck to you to shoot and score. It's just not going to work. And so I think it's pretty clear that except for just a couple of games, I don't think they've really found any combinations in the top six that they're comfortable with. They've found several combinations in the bottom six that they're really comfortable with, right? But because they're still trying to figure out the top six, that's playing with the bottom six a little bit. So, yeah, we'll see what these line combinations do. And honestly, I think a lot of this pressure, if the Blues could find a way to get a lead, they just haven't. It's crazy to think they played 10 games, Anthony, and have, trailed in 8 of them.
Right.
And seven different games, they've been down by 2 goals. 9 different times, they have had to chase a game by 2 goals. So in 2 of those games, they got it back to within 1 or even tied up and then fell down by 2 again. Is how you go from 7 to 9 there. But, bottom line is the Blues have to come out and get a lead for a little bit, and then you could start to kind of feel your game. It is really difficult to play catch-up hockey in the National Hockey League, and the Blues have just frankly had to do it way too much here in the early season.
Curbs, I know the team is sitting at 5-5, but there will be and has been some frustration from fans in terms of how this team is playing. How long does it normally take to sort out those line combinations, and is it as simple as players doing their job better?
Well, back in 2019, Carey, it took until the second half of the season right here in Philadelphia, right? And and so I guess that what does that mean? That means that who knows? I mean, Nashville's starting to find it a little bit. They're kind of going through some of the same with all the changes that they've had, and it does take a while. But go back to 2019. Now, I don't think the Blues are as good of a team as their 2019 team was, obviously, but it took solidifying things and calming things down in goal that allowed the confidence of the team in front of them to build on after that. And then they went on that unreal 11 straight win run, right? So that goes back to what I was saying before. I just think at some point they got to start getting some confidence with the lead. Put the puck in the net. When you talk to the coaches, obviously take that Ottawa game out of the mix. Prior to that Ottawa game, the Blues have actually outchanced the opposition in terms of scoring chances, the way the coaches chart it, in nearly every one of the games they've played so far. They just haven't buried it. And they got to start burying it to make a difference. That's the bottom line. Score some goals, get it on the forecheck, and it's amazing how even 2 games could feel totally different.
Obviously, you never want to deal with injuries. I think the Robert Thomas injury has been tough on him, but I think you found something with Dylan Holloway. Do you think that there's a chance that when Thomas does come back, he obviously goes back to that top line, and you can get Buchnevich out on the wing, and maybe that helps solidify some of that line issues?
No, I think that if and when Robert Thomas comes back, Pavel still stays at center, and then you move Holloway around. I think Holloway's proven to be a little bit of a Swiss Army knife now for the St. Louis Blues. Having said that, I mean, if over the next 4 weeks, he really thrives in that spot, maybe it is something, Carey, that you look at. But I don't get the sense that that's the direction that they'll go just yet. I still think they want to give Buchnevich is an extremely smart hockey player. They just want to give him some time to figure it out. And look, guys, while his faceoffs haven't been great, right? Well, I mean, while Buchnevich's faceoffs and he's working on it every single game haven't been good. You're looking at a guy that's +4. And yes, he was minus in that Ottawa game like everybody else, but you're talking about a guy that's provided some offenses plus on the season. I think while being a little inconsistent, you have to expect it. I think he's been pretty doggone good.
Chris Kerber joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Curbs, the power play continues to lag behind again, and I feel like we've had this conversation in the past too, and it often just comes down to, shooting the puck and not taking that extra pass. If you were to kind of summarize what's going on with the power play and how that needs to be turned around, how would you do so?
Well, I talked to Braden Shen specifically about that this morning, and he said on the power play, he goes, urgency. Now, urgency can mean a lot. So I said, well, define urgency for me. He says, we've got to make cleaner plays. We've got to get shots through. We've got to pass the puck and then get the shots on net. And he goes, but we've also got to be, he said we've got to retrieve the shots. We've got to quit being just one and done. And he goes, we've moved the puck too slowly. We're holding on to it too long, waiting for a pass, and we try to force it across the middle, and it hits a stick. We're not making good decisions. He also said this, and I hadn't really looked at it this way, Anthony, but he said, I think we're last in the league in power play chances. So I looked it up, and they are. 24 power play chances, right, is tied for dead last in the league when it comes on the power play, right? They're tied with Columbus in that area. And that just means that you're not getting enough offensive zone time. It means you're not drawing penalty. And I loved how he put this. He goes, you can talk about getting screwed by a referee. He goes, but if you're only getting 1 or 2 power plays a game, it's not officiating that's in the way. He goes, we just aren't earning it. And he goes, so at times it's been hard for our power play to even get momentum if you're just getting 1 or 2 a game. Now, they've had 7 over the last 2 games, but some of them are token at the end of a game, or it doesn't really count. The last one was 18 seconds, right, in the last game in Ottawa. So, you're absolutely right. Listen, we saw last year, you can look at the San Jose games as a reason you didn't make the playoffs, and maybe a couple games against Chicago and Columbus. I could make the case that those games are irrelevant and you missed the games, you missed the playoffs because your power play and penalty killing weren't very good in the first half of the season. They can be difference makers. And, if the Blues had a power play that's more middle of the pack or top 10 right now, they might have another couple of extra wins or at least a few more points in their belt. So it's critical, and you can tell the boys are feeling some pressure on it.
Curbs, you talked about the players being minus in that 8-1 loss to the Senators. One player that wasn't, he was just at 0, was Broberg. I don't know how that happens in an 8-1 loss, and you're on the ice that much. What are you seeing from him and his play? He's been really good and really pleasantly surprising for this team, I think.
2 best defensemen so far for the Blues this year have been Philip Broberg and Colton Parayko. Right? Colton Parayko, once again, has been an absolute beast. Broberg has been, I wouldn't say a pleasant surprise, because like Holloway, they went out and they got these guys because they felt that they've shown potential, and he's been physical. I think Broberg has kind of come back to the pack a little bit in the last couple of games, right? Then they say the first 8, but he's just making plays. He's chipping the puck off the glass. He throws the body around. You don't have to have like Radko Gudas break your bones kind of hit out of a defenseman. You've just got to be physical enough to hold a guy to the wall, to get in the road, and be willing to take a hit to make a play if somebody's coming in on the forecheck. And he's been doing that. And one of the things you'll see with Broberg, and they told me this at the beginning of the season to watch this with him, he just makes a real quick decision, and a lot of times is putting that puck right on a guy's tape, leaving the zone. And his zone exits have been fantastic. So, one way to make sure you're defending well in your own zone, Carey, is to make sure that you don't have to defend in your own zone. Pretty good. It's all about field position, and we can relate it to football, right? You don't let them in the red zone. Your red zone numbers are really good, aren't they?
They are.
So, that's where he's been really strong.
Yeah, if you want to play better defense, play less defense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know who it was Travis Green, and it's the Ottawa Senators head coach in his press conference before the game that was talking about, and they were getting grilled because their defense hadn't been very good either, right?
Yeah.
In terms of goals going in. And he said, guys, you're always – and he looks at the media and he says, you guys are always focused on, how they're playing in their own zone. He goes, when you talk about a team playing good defense, sometimes it's on the offensive half of the red line. Are you hustling back where your defenseman can stand up at the red line, force a turnover, and now you've made it a 3-quarter ice game on the other team? And he goes, sometimes the best defenses don't let them in your own zone. And he's absolutely right, and that's where Broberg and Parayko have been really good this year.
Good call, Kerbs. Have a great call tonight. Thanks for working through some of the technical problems. Hopefully, we'll get those ironed out ahead of tonight's pregame, which is in 15 minutes or so. So, Kerbs, we appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll get it done. Cheers. Happy Halloween. Have fun with the kids, guys, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, we definitely will. Thanks, Kerbs. We'll see you, man.
See you.
Bye. All right, we got Bet the Board. We've got 3 stars of the day. We got criticisms and compliments, all next on 101 ESPN. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. And that sponsorship is Schaefer Door Company. That's the app. But the podcast is brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Time to bet the board. It is the last day.
What are the standings, Marshy? I got a chance.
What are those standings?
Carey, you do not have a chance.
Nonsense.
Carey
No
burned.
chance for romance.
Carey and Marsh both burned their parlays.
Should have saved it. Hindsight 2020.
So, Anthony, you're down by 1 right now.
Yes.
You have a chance to tie Jamie. And spoiler alert, his pick is the Blues. So if the Blues win and you win, then you lose unless you do a parlay. So
Correct.
What are you doing today?
I'm doing a parlay. I'm going for the win. So I need Jamie to lose, and then for me to win 2, right?
That would yes, you would win if you did a 3-leg parlay and it hits. Then you win.
You 1 behind or 2 behind?
You're 1 behind.
I'm only 1 behind.
So you need
Jamie,
to, if he loses,
I just need 2.
you just need 2.
I need
But
2 wins.
You can't. So here's the question.
He's playing for the tie.
Are you playing for the tie or for the win?
No, I'm playing for the win.
But if so you going for 3?
Nope.
He's going
So
for 2.
you're saying he's gonna lose?
Yep.
That's
okay.
not good. That means the Blues are losing tonight.
Here's what I'm doing, boys. And it's purely for the game. All right? Give me the Flyers.
Oh.
That means the Blues will win.
You son of... Hey, who's in position right now to potentially win? Huh? Me or you?
Not me.
Flyers. And a Joe Mixon anytime touchdown.
What is that at?
Minus 130.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it.
And I don't know what the Flyers are. I guess I should check. I didn't even consider the Flyers, but...
You just want to go
It's
opposite.
definitely minus. It's got to be in that minus 150
You better
range.
check.
It's minus 150 on the dot.
Wow.
So give me the Flyers and give me a Joe Mixon anytime touchdown. If the Flyers win, that means Jamie doesn't get a point.
Yep.
I would then tie him. And then if Joe Mixon reaches the end zone, I would have a 1-point dub.
So this is what's going to happen.
If Joe Mixon doesn't score,
Yeah.
Then
you lose.
Then I lose. Yes.
Yeah.
Then I lose.
Then that's probably what's going to happen. So the Blues will end up losing, and then you end up losing too, and it becomes a lose-lose situation.
I don't like the way you're thinking.
I'm just.
He's just going by the numbers.
I'm just giving you the situation.
He's just giving you facts. Facts.
I don't like them at all. All right, so that's bet the board. Do you guys want to participate in the final day? Might as well, right? You got to throw one out.
Yeah.
Give me Kyrie Irving, 32 points, 32 and a half points, rebounds, and assists.
I don't know what Kerry's going to do from now on.
I'm giving you a window. Just gave you a peek into what I got.
Kerry's been doing that 1.5 hits runs. RBIs.
It got me.
And baseball is over.
It's over.
Give me Devontae Adams anytime touchdown.
I like that one. I think he has a decent game tonight.
He needs to. At some point, he needs to get into the end zone. Hopefully it's tonight.
But not
tonight.
Nope,
ahead,
tonight. All right, 3 stars of the day before we get out of here and get to Blues pregame. 3rd star goes to you two for your ability to stall.
Yeah.
It wasn't very clean.
We're talking about Roman times down the line. Telephone.
We vamped a little bit. Yep.
Yeah.
2nd star of the day goes to Anthony's ability to call a winner.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I hated to call that dub last night for the Dodgers, but it is what it is.
1st star of the day, it's unfortunate we won't see him tonight, but it's the Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier. Yeah, thank you, though, Marsh. I appreciate you including the Winter Soldier, of
course,
tonight in Halloween, despite the fact that I will not be
I
dressed.
think you should do it anyways, in my opinion.
It's late. It's
Never
too late in the process.
Never too late for the Winter Soldier.
You're right, but I probably had maybe I could wrap my arm in tin foil
There
or
you
something
go.
like that.
Aluminum
All right,
foil.
we've got aluminum foil. Blues, Flyers pregame right now. For Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, Kerry Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya. This is the greatness of my guy and Jamie's guy, Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. We actually called him to ask him about certain things, and he said, hey, guys, can't go on today because I'm actually with a client right now. When you call Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation, you become the most important client, and he takes care of you. Jamie recently actually was searching for a home. He found that home, but then you got to get the loan process in place. Well, what he did was he called Stewie at 314-324-4440, and he asked him about certain loan options that are available. And Jamie has a unique situation, just as I would have a unique situation, or Marsh would have a unique situation. That's what Stewie does, though. He helps you out. He makes sure that he gets you to the closing table. A lot of times, like within two weeks, less than 2 weeks, he'll get you to the closing table. And if you borrow $200,000 or more, you qualify for the bagel loan. So we're talking about no closing costs, no lender fees. But he's not just there for buying a home. Whether you want to refi, consolidate debt, Stewie's available. 314-324-4440. It's his personal cell phone number. If you miss that number, you can always Google the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.